Hi YouTube. I hope you're doing okay. It's warm here. It's really hot, so I thought I'd just leave my hair wet and chit chat with you for a while. Um, oh, what's on my mind today? Wow, okay. Um, this was a so-called mistake, but last night Doug said he had a family movie that I could watch. 5 minutes into it, there's nudity. And I'm like, okay, so you're telling me, and he's like a 13-year-old kid could watch this because I've got like grandchildren on Facebook and whatnot. So if I recommend a movie. So anyway, it must have been a different version than the one he saw, which is quite possible because, if it's like oh, they have different movies like big time production or popcorn flicks or whatever, whoever put the movie out. So, okay, I let that slide. But then I'm over on Facebook and this person is sending around pictures of half naked guys or mostly naked guys, actually. I've never been like that, not even as a child. I did not and still do not want to see other people's body parts. It's disgusting to me. The world's so lewd. Have all of you gone mad? Is everybody flipping loose and crazy out there? Do you think this is normal? Am I all alone in my thoughts here? It's like, oh, well, let them that are going to be evil still. Well, what the hell could I do about it anyway? Aside tell them how I feel or why that I think that would be a bad influence on the younger generation, even if they're in their like 30s or whatever. It's not a good thing. When my parents were acting like that when I was a little kid, I knew better. I mean, come on, really? Tell me, is there anybody out there that has moral values, real ones, not pretend like, oh, I believe in God, but here's a naked picture. For Christ's sake, really? I want to know. I want to know your opinions. Am I alone? I think I am. I really do. When it comes to that and a lot of other things, I mean, just in general, like marriages, for instance, nobody sees anybody else's marriage as sacred, and they do not know how to represent themselves when dealing with both those spouses. It's disgusting to me. I'm not going to shut up about this. I've been like this my whole life. I'm not changing for nobody. I'm not going to coddle anybody. I didn't even coddle my own children. I raised them better than that. And hopefully, the one that's married will remain married for a long time. He's been with her for going on 15 years, which is pretty good in this type of society we have, you know. And I've been in the same for 30 years. But I mean, really, is the whole world loose? Really? It's so acceptable. I mean, like I was saying last week sometime, there was this little girl with her leg up to the side and kind of her inner thigh out towards the camera. It's like, like 4 years old. What are you doing standing like that when you're 4 years old? What happened? What did her was how's her mother stand? Does her mother bend over like a lady, kind of squat down and pick something up, or is her butt up in the air, or what's going on with these people? I want to know. Then people put others down from cultures that where they cover their heads or they're fully closed, or it's a crime to look upon a woman like that, and you wonder why. These people know better. You know, they do. I think it's a good practice. Would I wear one? Probably on a hot day, I'd have problems because I got overheated really bad when I was a baby. They fried me in the sun. So I would probably get killed because of health reasons. But any other way, yeah, The way I dress totally reflects. The only time I could ever be considered lewd is if I was in my swimsuit at the beach or in a pool or I want to do senior bodybuilding. That's a little bit different. I wouldn't be going out there half naked for show of sexual intention. If I'm showing somebody, hey, whoa, you know, all of me like that, and it's like, at my age, are you like this? You know, yeah, I worked hard in that area for that reason and still might do it because I can. That's not sexual. At the beach, that's not sexual. But when they put like a girl with a swimsuit and a car, what does one have to do with the other? Now, back in my day, we had car hops on roller skates with cute little short skirts, but and white shirts, like maybe with a bow or something, but they or ruffles or something, but they weren't lewd, you know. It wasn't crude. So, yeah, I guess all through history, there's been them crude ones and there's not so crude ones, but I can't candy coat who I am and I won't. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. What am I supposed to do? Be in pain because of somebody else's lack of concern for humanity and just say, well, that's okay? No, I'm not saying that's okay. I will never say that's okay. If you believe it is and you want to slide, want to let it slide, that's on you. That's the type of stuff you want to look at and who you want to associate with it. That's on you. That's not my taste or my style or my preference in life. So, you know. And that is what I'm talking about today. That is what's on my mind. There's too much of it. There's hardly a movie out there that I can watch that isn't vile in one extreme or a next. I mean, if somebody's swearing about something because they're angry, okay, here's a for instance, and that movie did get better, and it was a pretty good one, but um, I was going to give it a couple more minutes if there was anything else in it. But she ended up throwing eggs at this dude, and the dude said, damn it at her. It was based back in the 40s. And so all in all, if it hadn't have been for the crude parts, I would have gave it a A+ scale of like maybe even a 10+ or a 10 at least. But there's really not much you can watch out there as a family movie. Even cartoons are crude and lewd. And yeah, video games are. All kinds of books. I even watched what my kids were reading. You have to. But I'll be damned, and I seriously mean damned. Somebody said, I bet you won't post this because your boyfriend's watching. I'll tell you what, if I wanted to post something, I'd post it. If I wanted to walk up to a man and kiss him in front of my spouse, I'd flip and do that. But I'm not like that. The last one that was a piece of shit and loose, I got rid of it, and then I do what I want to do. I'm not loose in my relationship. I wasn't loose before I got in there. Did you ever notice that a crappy man wants a woman that's not a slut? But if you're both slutty, it ain't ever going to work anyway. But seriously, so people that are on the looser end of things, they want a stable relationship 9 times out of 10. It's just that most of them don't want to be stable, but they want that for themselves. Yeah, you bet they do. Talk about being used. Well, I'm not going to be used as a friend either. That's who I am. It's not happening. I don't baby people. I don't expect to be babied. I never did. Well, I guess being an orphan probably did it. If I would, and me thinking that my mother or father could act slutty or say or do something that was off in the eyes of God, I could think to myself, well, at least they weren't my blood. But I found my blood and I found out that that didn't matter either. There's a kicker for you, you know? So, yeah, I'm pissed about it. I'm not letting it go. People are either going to step up and be who God wants them to be morally, or just step back out of my life. Unfriend me, unsub me, get the hell away from me. Seriously, so I'm serious. I mean, if you were hurt or you were hungry, I'd still help you out. But as far as wanting to spend time around somebody that is so distant from me in my moral values is a difficult thing for me to do. And that's all I've ever done all my life. And I'm not doing it no more. I'm not pacifying you. In fact, I didn't even pacify my children. When they were crying, it's like, get your thumb out of your mouth, for God's sakes. Eat something. I'm serious. I'm very serious. So if I didn't baby my children, I mean, I raised them, I took care of them, I nurtured them. But I did not and will not baby anybody at any time. I mean, if they were crying, I would pick them up and hold them and, say, oh, mom loves you or whatever, or I love you, whatever. But as far as, to me, even them learning lewd ways was never taught by me. And when they tried to exhibit that around me as young gentlemen or teens, it wasn't allowed. So, like I say, if I'm not going to allow it out of my own flesh and blood, I'm surely not going to allow it out of a so-called friend. You can't call yourself my friend. Neither can I call you. I can say I am your friend because what I'm telling you is the truth, the way to go about things in life, and the real way things work for a stable relationship with friends, family, spouses, children, especially children. So obviously, kids have been exposed with this person to less than what they should have been from an adult. And when you don't take that on, when you take God away from a child, there is a special spot for you. And don't think it's seated next to the Christ. It doesn't work like that. You don't do whatever you want now and expect rewards later. I'm not saying that God doesn't love somebody if they do something wrong. I'm not saying that at all. But when you're influencing, now, if you pass my video around smoking a cigarette to a child, that's on you. If I take that post and pass it around and my grandsons or granddaughters on Facebook saw that, that would be on me. Which I wouldn't do anyway, because you insulted my eyes, you insulted my godliness, you violated my inner self with that crap. Whether you watch this or not, I don't know. Everybody else, you can just hear how I'm feeling because this is the real me. This is how I feel. This is the way I am. If I'm around people and they're all unbuttoned and shit, I'll say, button that stuff up. I don't want to look at it. Or why don't you, do this before you go out in public, You want a guy to look at you for this reason or that reason. What do you want? You want somebody to reflect yourself? Okay, so be it. And I expect more out of myself and everybody else. That's who I am. So, yeah, I'm a little disturbed. Not unbalanced, just disturbed, disappointed, and sad. And I'll tell you what, and it didn't end there. There was more sadness that went along with it that hurt my feelings, and I expressed that on her page too. And whether or not she has feeling for that or not, because it was done, I mean, when you're on Facebook and you have friends and family, but you just say goodnight to your family and then you keep doing it, and everybody else posts are like goodnight friends and family or whatever, or goodnight Facebook, I love you all, including everybody. Well, if you want to disclude me, then you flip and do that, because you're throwing me away, not the other way around. Don't tell me you're of God and then act ungodlike and think that I'm going to stick around. I don't do that. I had enough crap, you know, taking phone calls very late from people because I cared, listening to somebody else hurt when I was hurting myself and didn't say anything, that type of thing. I'm not doing it no more. Fuck that. So, like I said, if you pass my rude video around to somebody and they're underage, that's on you. And furthermore, I don't care if I was 80 and I was teaching a 70-year-old the wrong way. They're younger than me. They've always been younger than me. And so for me to teach them the wrong way, even with my cussing, I know that's not right, but that's between me and God. I'm not telling you to post this and you won't post this because somebody's looking. I don't care about that. I'm the most forward woman you'll ever meet when it comes to honesty or doing what I want to do. So, because somebody's looking, God's watching me. Yeah, it's watching you too. So good luck with your escapades and manipulating and hurting other people with your slights, because it doesn't fly here. I'm done. Today is the last day and the last chance. Get on your knees and pray, whatever it takes. You want my friendship, you prove you're worthy to be my friend. Because I don't have to prove nothing. I know I am. I've walked this walk for decades. I'm not a newcomer to loving people or God or working hard for others. You prove the same. Let's see. So, well, enough of me hollering at everybody. I just, this is directed mostly for one person, but if the shoe fits, wear it. A good start, and this is no baloney. Tell God I'm sorry. You could even tell me you're sorry. I'll accept it. If you truly mean it, I will accept it. And ask God for help in that area. And don't act low again for yourself or in front of me. Just don't do it. Because it's unacceptable. Got it? I hope so. I'll say a prayer. I've been too angry to pray, to tell you the truth. Although I did ask. No, that's not true. I did. Okay. Well, yeah, I did anyway. So, but I'll say another one in hopes that my efforts may help reach somebody's heart, because I care. But I'm not going to wallow in pain. I will just unfriend you so I don't have to look at you trying to act beautiful when inside you're acting ugly towards me. And I've called you beautiful. You've never called me beautiful. And I know I am, inside and out. So I expect the same. I want friends that are going to treat me on that equal, for real, you know. I could go further into it, what it was like getting phone calls here and what Doug said, but use your imagination. It isn't nice when you don't take time to consider others. It's not a good thing. Trust me. Please pray. I'll pray too. I'll pray tonight. Tomorrow I'll probably be done, because I'm not going to be hurt anymore, being slighted or ignored, or, you can like a few of my posts, but the important ones that hurt, I'm not going to do it. And women are sly like that, but there's a few men around that know what's up too. I'm not even going to feel sorry for them. If people aren't going to feel for me, and I've never had anybody actually do that, except for maybe a couple of my children. But in this world, to see zero humanity from people that say they are Christians, it's not going to cut it. And I'm not going to let evil be evil still. That's a effed up saying, and I don't agree. So, anyway, all right, people, I love you very much. This is me. Take it or leave it, whatever, you know. But I'm that rock. Whether you want to try and throw me in the water, go right ahead. But I'll stand strong for everybody else, whether you like it or not. So, peace and love. I do love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Think on that.